Nederlandstalig, ja.
Hello, dit is de crypto Q&A call of Tuesday the 19th of November. So happy to see you all again. Yeah, we are a pretty international community here. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we learn the most if people keep asking questions. You know, like what Erik just was doing and Ruud. And then Andrew gives his own view on stuff. Sometimes I have to shut my mouth and think, because I would give the same answer, but in another perspective. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know. It's all in the same direction, and we're all helping each other. And but the boredom we had last week, I was exploding. Yeah, it is so much fun. I posted it in the VIP lounge that I took profits with XRP. Actually, Andrew, you told me that XRP was going bananas, and then I thought, what XRP? I wasn't expecting it at all anymore. And I bought XRP in 2019. So however, it was for 21 cents. I bought it, and it was all the time. It was around 40 and 50 cents, more or less. And now all of a sudden it was $1.05. Yeah, weird. So I sold 20% of my holdings, and then of course that was a lot, and so I put that back Sunday night in my bank account or my savings account, and then I look and I go, ooh, a lot of money. Yeah, and then, you know, that is the rewards you get because you are patient. Yeah, you were able to sit on your hands all the time. I know so many people that cannot withstand the urgency that they must see money. And if it goes down, they stop investing. And then I said, no, keep going. Do it on a monthly basis, you know, $100, $200, $300 on a monthly basis. Just keep investing in your Bitcoin, in your Solana, in your Ethereum. Keep investing. It will come up, especially the top 10 coins, you know. The top 10 coins are the least risky coins that you can have and that you can hold in your wallet, and it will get there, you know. But yeah, sometimes you have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, and that's why you need to invest with money that you are able to park on the sidelines for a long time. And even if you go in now, I mean, I can imagine if you want to invest if you are new now in the space and say, I want to have Bitcoin now. Take your budget for Bitcoin, cut it in half, buy your Bitcoin now, but keep in mind, you might hold it for another 4 or 5 years before you're in profits. Maybe you will get profits, what Andrew said. Start taking profits already when you are in 50%, 100%, 150%. And but maybe it won't get there, and you don't know. So be comfortable with parking money for a long time in a coin. That's why we have our wallets. And that's why you have to be so very careful with your seed phrases. That's why I created the lesson in the quick startup course for crypto, secret stuff. You know, and it is simple. It is on paper, but paper you don't lose. You don't lose paper. What you lose is a file on your laptop, because if your laptop crashes, then you say, well, what's on that laptop? And then maybe half a year later, when you get rid of the laptop, you think, my God, my seed phrases were on that laptop. And that's why I say no seed phrases on any laptop. I know from people that their email account was hacked. And the whole history of all the emails, that was all there. And the hacker, what do? They scan your whole email file, and then they are looking for seed phrases. And maybe once you emailed your seed phrase to, I don't know to whom, or you make a note in an email with a seed phrase, they will find it. And your wallet will be hacked. And we've seen Andrew took the test with restoring a wallet, and yeah, it works. It works. If you have a ledger with your seed phrase, I can take your seed phrase, put it in my Exodus wallet, and I steal everything on your ledger. And then you think, how is that possible? All my coins are on my ledger. No, your coins are not on your ledger. Your coins are on the blockchain in an account, and your ledger contains the keys. So I only need a thing, which is called a wallet, to put in the keys, to generate the keys, which is done with the 12 words, or 12 or 24 words. And then you can open an account on the blockchain, and you steal a whole wallet. So also for that reason, it's also wise to have more than one wallet. Yeah. So work with an Atomic, work with an Exodus, work with a Ledger, and and be aware. Also, a ledger has risks, because a ledger is only secured with a password. And if somebody puts a gun against your head, say, now I want to have your password for this ledger, they're also in there. So keep that in mind. And you think, yeah, it's safe, it's in my ledger, and the ledger is in the safe. Yeah. So that's why I have nothing. I even don't have any seed phrases here in this house. Nothing. There is nothing. It's in the bank in a safe account, and I have it somewhere else in another physical location. That if something happens with one of the two locations, I still have access to my seed phrases. But if you now say you need to restore your wallet now, I can't do it. So come and join me. You cannot get anything from here. And I think that's what you should keep in mind. Okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Just a related question. I years ago bought the original Trezor, and then since then I also bought a Trezor T. And there's some talk on there about needing to get on these newer wallets. Is there any reason? I mean, all I ever do is go in and occasionally update my firmware and look at everything. And is there any reason to think that an older style wallet of any make has got problems?
In the end, Mike, your coins are not in your wallet. Your coins are on an account on the blockchain.
Right,
so,
right.
And it doesn't matter which device holds your keys. You can even put your wallet in an open fire. It doesn't matter. You burn your wallet, as long as you have your seed phrase written down somewhere. So for that reason, I do not see a reason to replace your ledger or your Trezor with something else, unless you say, yeah, I want to use it on a daily basis. I do payments with it, and I use it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Then you might want to consider to put a lower amount of money to that wallet, and then make your do your thing with that wallet on a daily basis.
The only other thing that I can think of is maybe the newer ones support more blockchains. Possibly.
Right, well, that's why I got the Trezor T.
Possibly.
I want it. And did anybody take the time to buy one of those metal plates with the stamp and stamp your seed phrase and all that? No, I think they're just selling it, but I don't know. Thank you.
As long as you have your seed phrases on 2 different physical locations, the chance that 2 houses or 2 locations burn down at the same time or are overflooded at the same time, that chance is pretty small.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me see. I had one question of Stacy. She is not here, but she said, Andrew, hope you're doing well. I wanted to start moving my BTC of my exchange crypto. No, that's another question here. Tomorrow, can you cover how to adjust the spreadsheet when we trade? I went ahead and traded 75% of my ETH for Sol. So that's what I announced a couple of weeks ago. I also moved 70% of my Ethereum into Solana. So I did a switch on Coinbase immediately from Solana to Sol. So not first from Ether to dollars and then to Solana now immediately. And now the question is, what is my average price of Solana? So because that you should understand how to do that. So I will show you how I did it. Let me see here. I go here. Oop. So here. I'll put you guys here. So. Let me see here. Here. What I did here in Solana. Here you see what I did. On the 5th of October, I bought Solana with 75% of my ETH holdings. Now you know how much Ethereum I had. So I set my first exit, sold with a market order here. So, and what I said is, this was here, this date here was the 15th of October. So I assumed I bought my Solana with an average price for $140. Just, I need to start somewhere. I need to have a reference point. Okay. And so that's why I said this is my average price. And because Solana went so much up, I sold 50% at 210 euros. So that was then a profit of around 50%. And you know, I'm pretty happy with that because my Ethereum, my Ethereum in that period did not go up so much from the 15th of October. That was more or less here to here. It only went up 42%. And my Solana from the 14th of October even went higher here. You can see it here. It went up to 67%. So I think it was a wise decision to do that. So I hope that answers the question for you, Stacy. Okay, guys, what I like to do with you today, because actually Andrew already said it, there is so much influencing. I want to zoom out with you, to zoom out what is happening in this market. And people are talking, it goes to $500,000, Bitcoin goes to $1 million. And you know, they are all right. But what they don't do is they do not mention the time frame. And that is the trap of everything. So, you know, I think I made a nice presentation for you today. And let's go over it. Last week, I walked through this scenario of Plan B, you know, and I presented you here with this timeline. Here, October 24 was 70K, November 24, 100K, which we might still do in November. December, 150, January, 200K. Then in February, 150K. That is a small dip. Then at March, 300K, April, 400K, May, 500K. Then in June, 600K and $1 million in July. I don't believe it at all. But first, I want to see it with my eyes. I want to see what am I looking at. Let me see here. So I thought this stuff from Plan B, you know, this guy with the with the hoodie. What he says is we are currently here in October, November, December here, and we are on our way to the $200,000, which I can still understand. Yeah, however, it is already pretty high. Then we see a small drop, and then he says somewhere in October it will go to 1 million, and then we go more or less down. I think that million is way too exaggerated. What is my vision here? It's more or less like this. We are currently approaching the 100,000. Maybe we go to 200,000. Control laser. Oh, control laser here. Maybe we go to 200,000. Then we will see a drop. And I think we go to 250. And I will explain you also in a minute. Then we will go down halfway, maybe a little bit a jump up small. And then we go back to, I think, 100,000 again, somewhere in June 27. So keep a picture like this in your mind. And maybe the curve will maybe like this, and then we will go sideways a while, and then it will go very steep up and very steep down again, sideways, and then steep down. I don't know, but this is more or less, then I say, yeah, now I get a feeling for the long-term view about the BTC price. So what you see here is that is the sort of standard, how do you call that? A standard graph about a cycle. So if you say we are in the smart money jumps in early. So and then you have the institutional investors. The other day, somebody said to me, we have currently institutional FOMO, which is, I think it's true. Now we saw here a bear trap, and then we see here that media attention is increasing, because that is also with the election of Trump. And so now you see the public is warming up, so they get enthusiastic. Yeah, but they still are waiting. They are waiting, and I think, well, let's see. Oh yeah, it goes very hard. Wait a little bit. Let's buy it. They buy it here. Yeah, and what do? We sell here, not all, but in portions. So, and then we will see go down again, and maybe this is called a bull trap, that it goes up again, and everybody thinks it will go up again. That's what we saw in the previous bull run. It even went higher than the previous high, and then it came down so fast that we were in a bear market for more than 2 years. So keep in mind this will happen. So what I want to do now is, and I think Andrew and I also saw Dean, but he's not here anymore. In 2023, in April 2023, I was at the Freedom Conference in Mesa, Arizona, and I gave there a presentation, and I gave my prediction for Bitcoin for the coming bull run. And I think I just found the presentation again, and I think it's still correct. And maybe it will play out that way. So that was the introduction of this weird guy there. So guys, what do we see here? This is the price chart of Bitcoin starting in 2010. And here, this is the logarithmic time scale. So it started at 1 cent, and here we are here at now 400,000, then 40,000, 85,000. Actually, every line it doubles here. So you see here peaks, here a peak, and here a peak, and here a peak, and here a peak. So this is what I presented there. I said what we saw here at the beginning, we saw a first top, because I like tops and bottoms. So what we saw here was a top of $30, and then we saw a dip of 93% back to $2. Then it went up in November 13 to 1240, and we saw a dip of 87% back to 160. Just to give you perspective. Then in December 2017, we saw a peak of $20,000, and we saw a drop of 85% back to 3100. Yeah, then this is the famous Corona dip. Everybody was selling everything, but we were buying. And then we saw in November 21, we saw the top of $68,000. And then we saw again a dip of 75%. You know, guys, this looks like a pattern. And even this dip of 75% was lower than the top of 2017. So what do I expect here? And I didn't update the chart. It is just from April 2023. This is what I expect here. It will go up to maybe 300,000. And then we will see a drop of 70% again. Why? This was 93, 87, 85, 75. So that maybe the volatility gets a little bit less severe. So what do I think? We go back to maybe around $90,000. So around the price what we are now doing. But let's look further what we see here. We see the Bitcoin. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin halvings. And you know, these dotted lines are not Bitcoin halvings. They are tops. You know, and in the Andrew Cashflow Academy, we work with tops and bottoms. So what is a Bitcoin halving? That in the period 2009, when Bitcoin just started, every new block that was mined, the miner got 50 Bitcoin. Then in 2012, after the first halving, the rewards were 25 Bitcoin. Then in 2016, that rewards were also halved in 2.5 as a reward, to 12.5. Then 6.25. And recently, it went to 3.125. And you know, the miners still need the same amount of energy and computers and just to mine that Bitcoin. As you can imagine, the price to mine is going up. That's also why Bitcoin also, because Bitcoin get more scarce. If we even go a little bit further here, we estimated in 2028 that it's also a halving. The from 3.1 it will go to 1.5 Bitcoin. So, and this will just continue. In 2032, we will see a 0.75 Bitcoin, not even a whole Bitcoin. It just keeps halving. So if I plot those halvings here in this chart, actually, I can do nothing with it. You know, it's just going up from here, it's going up from here, it's going up from here, it went up from here. So for me, the halving is not so much a reference point. But what is a reference point? Here, the increase, multiply 30 with 41, and you get 1240, more or less. Multiply that with 16, and then you get around 20K. Multiply the 20K with 3, and you get around 68. Multiply 68 with 2, 3, or 4, and you get something around 300K. If it is with 2, then you get 130. And is it with 3, then there you get 210. And if it is multiplied by 4, but is it realistic to expect that Bitcoin will multiply with more than 3? If this was 41, 16, 3, I think we will end up somewhere between now around 3. And will it go further? Will it go to 1 million? Yeah, of course, because imagine we get this 300K in the next bull run in 4 years, it might go to 600,000 or maybe to 700,000 or 800,000. So of course that Bitcoin will finally go to that million, but we'll also see all those dips. Guys, keep this in mind. So that means that if you draw this a little bit different, here we saw our last dip. That was the dip of the 68K here. This was the 68K. Here is the 280K. Yeah, this is also the same Bitcoin graph. From here, but that is, let's look, let's zoom in a little bit. And what you now see here is that in 2026, or maybe end of 2025, we will see a 280. You know, and it's not from me, that's just from a guy on X, on Twitter. Then maybe 800K, and then maybe in 2034 we see 1.8 million. What does it mean? It means if you say, okay, I want to buy Bitcoin now to make it to 1 million, you have at least to wait 10 years, which is not a problem if you are not too old, but, you know, and it's for your children, but this is the perspective. And what you also see here, it will drop down, goes up, it will drop down again. So, and this is how we play our game in the Andrew Cashflow Academy. Yeah, we know here we play for Bitcoin, for example, the PCA 1 for large caps. Yeah, we go in when it goes down and we sell when it goes up. So look at the previous cycle. This was the top of 2018, and this is the top here of 2022. Guess how many years was that? Exactly 4 years. You know, almost on the day exactly. Now, and what do we do? Here, for example, if this top, you buy on the way down and you sell on the way up. You buy on the way down and you sell on the way up. Buy on the way down, you sell on the way up. Buy on the way down and sell on the way up. And buy on the way down, you know? And here, then we got at this top and then it dropped 30%. Excellent moment to accumulate more Bitcoin. Then it goes up and we can sell a little bit on the way up. Then it went down, guys, with 55%. After which it went up again with 140%. You know, many people became fully crazy about it. They thought, and here it was only $68,000. And everybody, all those YouTubers were all screaming, it goes to 100,000, you know. And I also was trapped because my next selling point was somewhere at 90,000. And I heard the same story of Andrew in the previous hour, that Waters Above said, yeah, you have to place your stop loss orders there, or your entry exit orders. Play the game, selling on the way up and buying on the way down. Selling on the way up and buying on the way down. And if you are buying on this way down, now we all saw what's happening. You are stuck with your Bitcoin for 2 to 2.5 years. And this is the game you need to play, and you need to be aware of. That there is no easy, fast money. So, is this clear for everybody?
Yeah. May I ask a question?
Go ahead, Frank.
So your advice is not following those influences Andrew talked about last hour, but follow the graphic only.
Follow the strategy.
Yeah, follow the strategy and use the 0
Calculator.
till 70% to buy and to sell. That's it.
Yeah. And you know, and I can imagine if you say, here, let's take a recent graph here. Kijk hoor. Here, I can imagine we are now more or less here, that you say, I cannot wait because from here it might go to 280. You know, I would say, if you say I have an investable amount of money for my Bitcoin, for example, 10,000 euros or dollars, I would say, buy today $5,000 in Bitcoin. Just do it. But be aware that you might have to wait for another 4 years before you are in profit. Nobody knows. But if you buy here $5,000, because, you know, new people will come in, they will buy here for $5,000 because they all think it goes to 1 million in this bull run, which it will, to my idea, it will not do. So, but they will get into profit because if they buy at 280, they need to wait 4 years and they might be able to sell at 800, which is okay, but it is a lot of pain to go from 280 into, now what is it here? Maybe 100K. Yeah, then you are in 75% loss. Then still keep your Bitcoin. That is no fun to do it. But if you know it in advance, if you know this is my risk, this is what I do, you don't care. Because you trust, you have trust in Bitcoin, and you know I might make some profits here on the way up. And if not, if I buy too high, I'm stuck for 4 years. But if you only bought of your budget of 10K, you only bought 5,000, you have still money left to invest on the way down. And in that way, you can lower your average price. Because I can imagine if you now have $10,000, yeah, and you think, yeah, now I have to wait till 2027 before I can invest it. I mean, that is no fun. That is no fun at all. So, guys, of course, take your own decision. Take the decision you like. And but this is my view. And of course, I was already in 2019. I was already in here. And so for me, it's different. But I'm also buying with the short terms. I'm buying the dips and I'm selling on the way up and buying the dips. And that I do with, sometimes I take some profits of the Bitcoin I bought here in 2019 for around $8,000. And with those profits, I play the game here. The PCA1 game, which is fun to do. So, but if you are new, it is somewhat difficult to find your way and to get moving in the game. But if you invest in one investment all your budget, then the fun is over because you're sitting on the sideline and you can do nothing anymore. So keep that in mind. Always keep some money on the sidelines. And that's why also why we have the calculators, because we will see that dip of 20, 30, 40, maybe 50% in the coming year. We will absolutely see it. And if you just bought at the top and then you see a dip of 50%, you know, that hurts. You get a hangover.
But at this moment, the graphic is going up. So I think
we are here.
yes, the graphic is going up. But I think we have to wait. I don't buy at this moment, not for a big for a lot of
amount.
Bitcoin. I
Yeah.
wait because I see that the value of the Bitcoin is going up. As I took 500 euros last week, and in nearly 1 week I earned it back already. It's amazing, and it's only 500, not so much money, but the game is very funny by doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because
However,
the graphic is
you were-
going up.
You were pretty lucky that you entered 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
If you would enter now, the game would be totally different.
yeah.
But you know, it's okay.
Different in what way? It would be more worse.
Yeah, because maybe we will see now a drop of 30%. If you would buy now, and we see next week a drop of 30%. Maybe when there is something with Trump and they find a new scandal and Elon Musk will break his leg. I don't know what happens. Another black swan. Then you say, oh, now I invested all my money. So, you know, do your asset allocation wisely. And if you want to invest now, I can fully understand it, but do not invest everything at this moment.
Yes, I am okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is the strategy. This is how we play the game. So when will we sell? I want to go over some things because I showed you here. I showed you this. Let's go back here. Here. We want to sell here on the way up. Yeah. And who is buying there? The public, or also called retail, is buying here with greed and delusion and a new paradigm, because they say this time it is different. It will go to the moon. We will go to 1 million. Mark my words, there are a lot of people who will buy in here and on the whole way up, and that is the public. How do we know that the public is starting investing? How can we figure it out? Now, let's go further. Where were I? Here. For example, look at the YouTube views. Yeah, because what you see here is the number of views. This was the previous bull market. Yeah, and what you see here is, for example, all the known influencers. Aaron Bennett, I know, BitBoy Crypto, Coin Bureau, BitBoy Crypto I've seen. Data Dash is a very interesting one. You see here Digital Asset News. I know them. So many. Altcoin Daily, also a very, very well known, and they all contribute to the views on Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, on YouTube. And what we see here, this was the top of the YouTube views, and we are currently here. So retail, or the consumer, is not investing yet. So that means we are at the beginning of the cycle. Another way is to look at it is how many people are looking for Bitcoin on Google. Because the more interest there is, the more people will go on and search for Bitcoin. So let's see, go to trends.google.com. And now you see here, this was the previous bull run here in 2021. And you see here last week, it went steep up. Yeah, more and more people looking for Bitcoin. And now you see Bitcoin a little bit making a pause. And you see it immediately go down here. So are we already at the levels of the previous bull run? No, not yet. So there is not enough, or at least if you see this go up, then we will see, hey, the retail investor is getting in. What you also can look at, that is the Coinbase app downloads. So Coinbase has an app for the telephone or a computer. And what you see here, that if you want to download it on your phone, you see that Coinbase is at position 13 at the moment of the most interesting or the most downloaded apps in the App Store. So that also means not many people do yet have a Coinbase app on their mobile phone. So they're not buying. So, and if you see this go up, then more people will start investing, more consumers. Now, this is what most people will do. They will watch the market go up, and buy more and buy more and buy more and buy more. And then you watch the market go down here, and then they say, don't worry, it goes up again. I even buy more. And then after a while, you are back where you were, because if you have your average price somewhere here, it will drop below your average price even. So, and that is not a problem if you said, okay, I wanted to buy that Bitcoin anyway for the long term, and I'm fine to hold it for 4 or 5 years. Then it's totally fine. But of course, it's way more fun if you would have bought it here. But yeah, then nobody is interested. So what should you do? Buy when everyone else is selling and hold until everyone else is buying. Yeah, it's not just a catchy slogan, it is the very essence of successful investing. You know, Aaron Bennett, also an influencer, I just mentioned him. He, for example, think is go to 350, 400K, and he says, you know, I'm even maybe not ever sell. Not, I might not even sell at all. Why? He expect in the future there might be possibilities to take a loan against your crypto or against your Bitcoin. What does it mean? That you can put Bitcoin as a collateral. For example, you have a value of $100,000 in Bitcoin. And then, for example, you can take a loan of $30,000. Yeah, the loan to value should be big enough because else you can get liquidated. But if you say, you know, I need a new car and I know Bitcoin will go up in 2 years, you know what? I have $100,000 value of Bitcoin. It might drop 70, 75%. Then it's still, the value is still $25,000. You know what? I will loan 20% of my, I will take a loan of $20,000. Then I buy my new car and I put my Bitcoin as collateral. And as soon as that increases in value, I can, with the added value, I can pay off the loan again. And it can also all be done in a decentralized way, for example, with Aave or Compound. You know, this kind of functionalities just without a bank will be made. And I will tell more in the future about it.
Yeah, that is very interesting, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you want to make a video of this.
Actually, I'm working on a. Yeah, no. At this moment, for me, it is still too risky.
Okay.
It is not robust enough to do this because you're talking about a lot of money. So when do you sell your altcoins? Sell when you think it is high and what you can do with your money. And I think this is a nice advice. If you, for example, I know a story of myself. I bought for $200, I bought Terra Luna in 2019. In 2021, it was worth $80,000. And you know what I did? I didn't sell. So, and then there was a collapse of Terra Luna and it went down to 0. So that was a hard lesson. On the other hand, I only invested $200. But yeah. So actually what I should have done, I should have taken profits. Yeah, I should have sold some and at least, guys, for all of you, make yourself an idea what you can do with the money if such an altcoin goes so skyrocketing. Maybe financial freedom, maybe buy a car, buy a house, pay off some bills, do life-changing thing, retire early if you can buy stocks and live off dividend, you know? Buy back your time and freedom. I think this is what we are here for, to buy back your freedom. Yeah, do life-changing stuff. Yeah, and I think this is the best advice for when to sell your altcoins. And I would say, don't take a risk on the way up. Take your profits just according to the strategy. Now, other points of view when to sell altcoins. When you see extreme prices for NFTs, for meme coins, YouTube views are at all-time high. Coinbase app is at #1. Google search for Bitcoin is higher than ever. If they talk on the TV, you know, on the Saturday Night Live show, talking about Bitcoin, when everybody talks about crypto, even your hairdresser and your neighbor, and at that moment, it is time to sell your crypto. And you know what? That is the most difficult time to do it. Why? Because everyone in your surrounding will say to you, you need to buy crypto. And you say, and you have to tell them, no, I'm selling. And they say, you're ridiculous. It's only going up. So fingers in your ear. And also afterwards, if you look back, maybe you could make, I would say maybe $100,000 in profit. Be happy if you only made 50,000, because all those others didn't make any money. So try to keep yourself and discipline yourself to take your profits, because from hindsight it is so easy, but if you are in the heat of the moment, it's not so easy. Where are we now? Now, yeah, you see the bull runs, and actually we are already a little bit higher here, so we expect it will go up. Okay, I thought this is a nice story. From ignore to laughing to fighting to joining. You know, for example, the phrase. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they join you. Or then you win. So what did we see in 2016-17? Bitcoin faced a scorn from governments, Wall Street, and mainstream economists. Every early adopter faced ridicule and regulatory challenges. Then, the breaking barriers from 18 to 22, crypto gained gradual traction and skepticism eased. Resistance from major financial institutions began to wane, setting the stage for a wider acceptance. And where are we now? We see it, eh? You know, the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the Trump government, friendly for crypto, institutional acceptance solidified with Bitcoin ETFs and surging inflows signaling Wall Street full embrace. Crypto achieved significant financial milestones. And I want to show you a small thing, only short. Crypto van. So, and then maybe some people maybe have seen me this summer when I took. I also do this calls if I'm on holidays. So then I was sitting in the van and just doing this calls, and yeah, it is fantastic. The roof can open, you know, like this, and then you can sleep on the roof of the van, and it's everything is in there. Yeah, fun. So sorry. Patience pays off. Okay, political victory, and we all know that Trump won.
Yeah.
Crypto reached its pinnacle by securing political acceptance with the pro-crypto US Congress and President. This marks a new chapter for crypto adoption and regulation. And now finally we see the institutional FOMO. And it's yeah, I like this so much. Give me some of that Bitcoin. You know, this is why Bitcoin went up so enormously with 30% in 3 days or so. So 93,000 Bitcoin. Here, this is also fun. You know, we all know Bill Gates. Yeah, this guy who also thinks that he's a healthcare specialist. And he said, I would short Bitcoin if there was an easy way to do it. And then we also know old Michael Saylor. He has 100,000 Bitcoin or so. And he says to Bill, if you really hate Bitcoin, then sell short MicroStrategy. And I promise we are not selling. So he is not doing it. And, you know, he is saying Bitcoin is shit, Bill Gates. But I think he has a lot of Bitcoin. But he will never admit it. Maybe his wife owns it. Maybe not himself. Or maybe his venture or a particular company that he owns it. But him personally, he does not own Bitcoin. And I think it's just to protect the sitting elite, the sitting banking system, the sitting left-wing stuff.
I have a question, Andrew.
Sure, go ahead.
You see that the institutionals are buying Bitcoin. You see that the banks are buying Bitcoin. You see that governments will buy Bitcoin because Trump wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when comes a time when the central banks buy Bitcoin?
Yeah, good question. Interesting question. You know what I think? You know what I think? Central banks in future will become obsolete.
The central banks.
Central banks, yeah.
Hmm.
And why? Because what have we seen? When the earth developed, you know, and countries developed, first, mainly governments, they created roads, they created telephone system, they created postal system, and all kind of electricity, water, sewer. And what you see more and more, that private companies are taking over that kind of work, and that's a kind of property. So one of the last things standing is actually the system to provide money to the world. And what is the system that provides money to the world? That is a central bank, because who else should do it? At least we should agree about some money that we can exchange. There is somebody with a mute. So somebody needs to provide money to this world. And I think central banks were a good idea in the past, because before, yeah, you had a bank with a big safe, and yeah, then the safe was robbed. And so I think central banks will be obsolete, and I think they will not buy Bitcoin. And if they buy Bitcoin, the price will only go up, because they need to, if they want to buy something like bonds, they need to print money.
But it's the last herd what is must accept Bitcoin, because the other ones are already do it.
Well, governments do, you mean?
Yeah, the government. I think that the banks doing it. Not every bank will admit it. Only the banks in Holland and Europe are a little bit stupid because they not get it. But either they go in with Bitcoin or crypto, or they are obsolete. When Trump is buying for the National Reserve Bitcoins, then others will follow. That cannot be otherwise. And the central banks are the last herd. What could they do? They could join a little bit, or they can fight it.
You know, they're the central banks. And for example, the BIS in Switzerland, the Bank of International Settlements, they are fighting it over and over again. Because, for example, if I want to transfer money to abroad, I take XRP and I send money to somebody, 20 seconds. And it costs me maybe 0.001 cents. If I want to do that with a legacy banking system, it takes 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days. And it costs me between $20 and $35 to send money. You know, and that is the cash cow of the banking system. Money transfer is one of the cash cows. So they want to protect it as long as possible. And they, of course, they see the risks if crypto takes over, and crypto takes over international transfer of money. Yeah, we don't need a Bank of International Settlements anymore. And governments are not able to weaponize the dollar anymore. And that's also a big risk for the sitting government. But actually, I think for the people, it's much better. So, but I agree with you. Yeah, when will central banks buy Bitcoin? Not, I think.
Not fast, but maybe it will come.
Yeah, but who would benefit from that? They have no mandate to buy Bitcoin as a central bank.
At the moment. But banks were all not allowed. And I think in Holland, it's for me completely weird when the ING and the ABN AMRO and the Rabobank are not... you cannot make an account for Bitcoin, although they do it in the back way. They participate in some, I think, some crypto companies.
I can tell you even stronger. A friend of mine used to own a company with 300 or 500 trucks, food delivery trucks, and then in Netherlands and Germany and Belgium. And his computer system of his company was hacked by Russian people. And they said, okay, we want to unlock your system, but you have to pay in Bitcoin. That Russian guys even had a help desk how to do it.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah. So this CEO went to his bank, I think it was ABN AMRO, and he told the story, and they said, "No worries, we will help you." And they knew exactly what to do, how to buy Bitcoin, how to send it, and it was no issue at all. But
They
on
did.
the other hand, when I was at a party and there was a network party, and there were some people working at the bank, and I asked them, what do you think of it? It was about 2 years ago. What do you think about Bitcoin and crypto? And then the literally answer was, we are not allowed to talk about crypto in the bank. It is forbidden. So first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they join you.
But they joined already, maybe, that we not know.
Of course. And you know what? And we do the same.
In America, it's not the same with the people from the bank. They said, when somebody buys in my company a Bitcoin, I will fire him. And he himself was the first one to buy.
And countries have already adopted it as legal tender.
Nou ja, dat is El Salvador.
Ja.
El Salvador has it as legal tender. Ja. Even kijken hoor. Ik had nog meer. I had more here for you guys. I always prepare too much. Let's skip Jim Cramer. This is a guy, TV personality, author, stock market expert. He predicted that Bitcoin was really at the bottom and would go lower. And he said it's never too late to sell. That was here. And see where we are now. That was his advice as a specialist. Then also about Solana. He said when it was $11, you're an idiot. It's now $200. Then he recommended Netflix. Several months later, it was 60% down. By the way, I must be honest, Netflix is now up again. And then he predicted also that he said that market actions suggest traders expect Kamala Harris to win. Now, only this guy told it, but nobody else. So I think this is so rigged. This is so corrupt, and to give people the wrong opinion.
Yeah.
Here in Japan, they are just buying Bitcoin over and over again. Here, this is also nice. 99.95% of all Bitcoin addresses are in profit. Why? Because if Bitcoin is at an all-time high, nobody can be in a loss. Because everybody should, at least 99.95% of the people should have bought with at a lower price. And then these weird Germans, they sold all their Bitcoin. I really don't understand the Germans anymore. They are our neighbor country. The Volkswagen factories have to close because of the Nord Stream pipeline that was blown up, and we all know who did it. And they just accept it. They sent a lot of money to their Ukraine friends, and in the meantime, the whole country goes bust. When we had this disaster with Fukushima, they decided to close all the nuclear plants in Germany. So they have a disaster in energy. And now they are mining brown coal, which is CO2, really polluting, and they are burning that. Yeah, weird. Guys, I think it's enough for today. I hope you had enough to digest now. Any questions? Can I help with something?
Andrew, I have a question on a stock, the SMCI. I know Jeff kind of mentioned it in the VIP lounge, but it sounds like there's some positive news around that now.
Let me have a look. Maybe here. SMCI, super microcomputer. Actually, it's also on my watch list here, you see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were having issues, some sort of auditing issues, I think.
Sure, yeah. So what you now see here with the latest news, yeah, it's going up. And actually, since a couple of days, it is now up with 65%. So I wish I would have bought it on the way down here, which actually I didn't. Jeff,
Yeah.
did you do in the meantime?
I just bought in this, end of last week and today or yesterday.
You were
Mm.
just in time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
and they're doing something with
And NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're teaming up with them with some projects and stuff, so that's gonna boost things even better for both of them, I think.
However, guys, let's be. Even kijken, let me see. What is this? Yeah, this is 67. Yeah, we now see a new recent top here. Yeah, so the entry possibility is actually gone. So we have to wait till it either comes back again or, yeah. Actually, I would not enter now anymore. Unless you say, I do this. Yeah, I see this is the recent top. And then, yeah, you know, if it already went up 65%, yeah, it might go up. Because then your average price will be here. It might go up, yeah, another 67%. We don't know.
I was wondering if I should go in because it would drop my average price if I bought in right now.
Yeah,
Sure,
I've been
and
averaging on the way down, and I'm in about 13% profit at the moment because I've been buying it on the way down, so my average price is higher. But if you're
Yeah.
buying it now, you probably, if you're using that existing top,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this one, the last time I buy at 50%, below 50%, and then I thought it was a little bit tricky.
Hey, Eric, you either follow the strategy or you don't.
I had the 50% strategy. Dus,
Okay. Okay, then it's okay.
and maybe I was wondering when it was 60%, normally when it was a good stock, maybe I add one. Because can you switch from the 50% down the way to the 70%?
Absolutely. The only thing is that your original allocated budget
Must be higher.
must be higher because you take your last entry, the amount you entered with the last entry at minus 50, there you have to add 25%, and that is the amount you should enter at minus 60.
But when you arrange the amount of money you allocated, is then the entry points, are they then approximately the same?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah, when it's 25% increase, okay. Dus when it's going down, you can decide, okay, I can switch when it's a good stock. Then you need a little bit more money and time.
You know, if you say, I will just go in a little bit conservatively, and then when you are at minus 50, you say, you know what, I've trust enough, I'll just increase my budget, and I will also buy at minus 60 and minus 70. But you know, the problem always is that before a stock goes down, you need bad news, because else it doesn't go down. And that is the difficulty here. They say, yeah, bad news. Yeah, it goes bad with the company.
Yeah, at the moment, because we have Finviz, we estimate, we have checked it, and we say it's a good stock.
So?
Like Alibaba at the moment, the same.
Alibaba, JD.
JD, yeah.
You know, they are Chinese companies, operating in China. China is so many people. Worst case, you are in Baba and JD, maybe 2 years, worst case, but they will be back for sure. But also there, keep in mind, you might be on a long process to be in. But if you can handle that and you have enough ice in your stomach, now you can easily live through that period. And 9 out of 10 times, you are surprised how fast your stock is at your 15% level.
Yeah, when the cost averages go fast. You go with the cost average every time you go down.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, ladies, I hope again you enjoyed the presentation and the conversation. Keep writing in the app. I like it. If you have questions, let us know where we can help, because I see also other people help other people. Yeah, you know, we can only learn from each other and make money. That's what we're here for. Okay. Ruud, you're on mute if you want to say something.
No. Well, I only can say that I was looking at the video from Australia, and it was one positive, one positiveness. It was beautiful.
Yeah, he is a little bit rude so now and then with what he says,
Yeah,
but he makes several times he makes a
it
point.
really made me enthusiastic. I
Yeah.
hope not too much, but he was really great.
Yeah. What he also said, I also listened it about Bitcoin. He said Bitcoin might go to $200,000.
Yeah.
And he did not say Bitcoin might go to 500,000 or 1 million.
Now, in 2030, he said.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he said like in January or so, January, February, you have to go out, and then these smaller coins will go up again.
Yeah.
Money goes out Bitcoin in the small coins, and then before May you have to sell everything.
Nah, not everything.
Not everything, because he has. I think he said I have 12 Bitcoins and I only sell 2.
Now, I do not have 12 Bitcoins, I can assure you.
Okay. No.
Okay. Hey,
It was very
ladies and
nice.
gentlemen,
Thanks.
it was a pleasure, and hope to see you again next week.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Right.
Is leuk, man. Huh?
Heel leuk.
Ja.